ladies and gentlemen. I am Dr. Claudia Albers, Planet X research and professional physicist. And today I'd like to bring to you another one of my articles. This one's entitled Planet X Objects Cause the Earth to Expand. Now, in Article 560 entitled Planet X Reveals That Planets Are Smaller Versions of Their Parent Stars, I detailed how celestial objects have two types of matter creation events. Matter creation which increases the size of the object, and matter creation which ejects matter to the outside. The same mechanism explains why the Sun and the Earth have matter creation events or ejections of plasma. When Planet X system objects, which are extremely low in energy, approach them. These objects are energy vacuums, which drop the energy in a star's environment, thus triggering matter creation ejections and core ejections. Core ejections will have part of the Sun's core in them and will be the most energetic and can also lead to the creation of new planets, which is what seems to have occurred in the case of Mercury. And you may look at Article 524 entitled Mercury created by the Sun due to Planet X. These ejections will decrease the size of the Sun's core. Ejections without core material will be less energetic, but cause the energy in the Sun's core to drop. And here you see some of these ejections coming from the Sun. The Sun ejects liquid plasma in the direction of a low-energy Planet X object in what is termed a CME, or coronal mass ejection. It is the presence of the object in the Sun's environment which triggers the matter creation mechanism in operation throughout the universe. The larger the object, the more energetic the Sun's response is likely to be. So only CMEs triggered by the largest objects are likely to have core plasma in them. Planet X objects moving through the inner solar system are observed as comets, and you can see one is this comet here. And you may look at Article 559 entitled Planet X Asteroid Develops Comet Tail and Alien Ring Makers. Matter creation occurs when energy in the form of photons is released into a region of high electric field, so that all matter comes from light. But the emerging matter or liquid plasma has to have less energy than the energy of the parent core plasma, because some of that energy is turned into mass. And you may look at Article 542 entitled Planet X Observation-Based Energy Conversion in the Cores of Planets and Stars. So here we have another one of these coronal mass ejections, which is the Sun ejecting plasma that it has created, or it may have some of its own core plasma in it. But it will always have some matter that the Sun has created, new matter, and therefore that drops some of the Sun's energy. But as you can see, we have a circular object there, well, a spherical object there, and this plasma is going from the Sun directly towards that object. And so we can see that this object is actually what triggered this event. Now, in the case of the Earth, matter creation events lead to volcanic eruptions. These are also triggered by energy-depleted Planet X objects, which are the cores of dead stars and planets in the Earth's environment. The Earth most likely formed from a core ejection by the Sun, and thus the Earth's core, although much smaller than the Sun's, will be at close to the Sun's core energy level. Hence, the matter the Earth's core creates is likely to be close to the matter that the Sun's core creates in energy, which explains why the magma inside the Earth is at about the same temperature as the plasma or magma on the surface of the Sun. That's about 6,000 degrees Kelvin. This also suggests that the Earth and the Sun are made of the same material. The Earth, with its living core, may at times respond to the presence of Planet X objects with core ejections, which will lead to the formation of tiny spherical cores. The larger the object, the more energetic the Earth's response to its presence is likely to be. So a core ejection will occur only when the largest dead planetary cores enter the Earth's atmosphere. If these are not able to get off the planet, the newly created cores, they may end up remaining inside the Earth or even on the surface, which explains the spherical stones found all over the world. And you may look at Article 525 entitled Spherical Stones All Over the World, Earth Creating Tiny Moon Cores. So tiny spherical stones on an island in the Arctic are most likely tiny moon cores, and that's what we see here, created by the Earth in matter creation events induced by the close approach of a large Planet X system stellar core. Planets are likely to have core ejections and thus create small moons during the period when they are still creating outer layers of material, but not once they have reached an equilibrium state and the outer layer has solidified. However, the presence of very large Planet X objects in their environment will trigger them. This is what's happening with the Earth. So matter creation triggered by Planet X objects in the Earth's core, which does not exit through a volcano, will cause the Earth to increase in size. Since matter creation events which do not result in a volcanic eruption create earthquakes instead, earthquakes are associated with Earth expansion. The more frequent and the stronger the earthquakes, the greater will be the resulting Earth expansion. So here we have illustrated what happens during an earthquake. An earthquake occurs due to the presence of a large Planet X object in the Earth's atmosphere. If the created magma does not find a way to the surface, it is trapped inside the Earth. The resulting explosion then creates an earthquake, and the increased magma inside the Earth causes the Earth to expand in size. The lower semi-molten layer will change shape in response to the matter creation event and place pressure on rock layers above them, creating or breaking them and thus creating seismic waves. In conclusion, the Sun and the Earth have matter creation events in response to the presence of energy-depleted Planet X objects, which are the cores of dead stars and planets. Because of its solid outer layer, not all of the newly created matter is ejected by the Earth, which results in the Earth expanding. Earthquakes are associated to these Earth expanding events. And these are the references. This is Dr. Claudia Albers, Planet X physicist. Thank you for watching.